The NL Central is still really tight so far. We're midway through June, so it's getting almost to halfway through the season. Uh, and it's still like all the teams are pretty much within. Cardinals are a little further back. We'll explain that. So yeah, the Brewers slid into first. Yesterday they got the sweep of the Pirates, so they're into first now by half a game. The Reds have won eight straight. They're still coming up. You got the Pirates hanging around. They were first for a while, but they're still hanging around 500. The Cubs have been hot. They only lost one game last week, so they're hanging around. And then the Cardinals are all the way back at 8.5 games back, but still technically hanging around, especially considering last year when they went on a run. Just Jake, first thoughts on I guess how you see this division's kind of moving.
Yeah, I think when it's all said and done, the Cincinnati Reds will take this division. I think that, the Cincinnati Reds with their great pitcher in Hunter Green, the Hunter Green, I think with the great offense, Spencer Steele, Jonathan India, Ellie De La Cruz, even, I think that the Reds will be impossible. Not impossible, but kind of difficult to stop down the stretch. And as Evan mentioned earlier, they're on a little bit of a run now, winning eight of their last 10. So, you know,
Yeah. I think because you still got two, it's really interesting going in because you still got two teams who are technically rebuilding this year, the Cubs and Pirates, and the Pirates jumped off hot. They started hot.
yeah,
Obviously, they've fallen back down, but they haven't fallen completely. They're still hanging around. So those are the Reds were kind of no man's land going into the season, and now they're like Jake said, they're one of the top ones. And then the Brewers and Cardinals were supposed to be the competitors. So I mean, eventually someone's got to break away, right?
yeah,
And you think it's gonna be the Reds?
yes, I do.
I
Shout
think
out
it's
to Jules, by the way.
I think it's going to be either the Reds or Brewers. I think those are the two teams left standing. The Cardinals are finishing fifth right now. That's pathetic compared to all the money they've put in. They're going to finish
Yeah,
fifth in that division. You're paying Nolan Arenado and Paul Goldschmidt all that money, and you've got all these young guys, and you're going to finish fifth in one of the worst divisions of baseball. Now, a long way to go still. They're 8.5 back. But right now, we check the MGM odds. I think they have the worst odds to win this division too. With the Pirates fourth, Brewers had the best odds, but still not a complete favorite. I can put them at plus 110. So this is so up for grabs. And I think really it's not going to be the Cubs or Pirates. I don't think it's going to be them. Process of elimination. The Pirates have been impressive, but I think they're still a year away. And the Cubs, again, they've been hot, but they strike 500 for me. So it's not going to be either of those two. The Cardinals, I just went right at. But they still have a shot, technically. They do, but they're running out of time. And if they finish fifth in the division, that's pathetic. A lot of people need to be fired over that. But they're
yeah.
still in the shot. So I say there's 2.5 left in this division. It's the Cardinals as a half, like maybe they can come back finally. And then I think it's the Brewers and Reds. The Brewers, they still can't hit. They still can't find any bats. I think they need a whole new lineup. They've had some of the same guys, Tellez, Yelich, who's been better this year, but still not MVP stats. But you got
Like it
Tellez,
was in
Contreras.
17.
What's up?
Like Yelich was in 2017.
Right,
Yeah,
right. And 2018 and 2019. You got Tellez, you got Contreras, you got all these guys who just aren't playing, who aren't playing playoff baseball, and that's what the Brewers needed to be. So then you got the young guns with the Reds, and the Reds look like the most complete young gun team. I'd take them over the Pirates in terms of the younger team. And I think those are the two teams left standing. We'll see who's standing last, but you think it's gonna be the Reds? I'm split between those two, but I could see either one.
yeah. And I mean, I got two more points to make. I think with the Pirates, their fast start, I think they kind of slow down a little bit. And I think that's credit to, well, not credit. I think that is unfortunately about the loss of the star shortstop O'Neal Cruz. I think that losing him obviously put a big dent in their lineup. They still got some guys with Andrew McCutcheon in them, but I think that put a big dent in their lineup. And I think the most interesting thing to me about this division is the Brewers, Reds, Pirates, Cardinals, they all have negative run differentials. The Cubs are the only team with positive
That's
run
interesting.
differential in that division. and they're still 4 games back of the
Do you
Blues.
know how positive it is?
Yes, +9.
So +9. So what that could signal to me is that the Cubs win in blowout wins, but then
Yeah,
they still lose. But nevertheless, an
but
interesting
they lose
stat.
in
So
close games.
nevertheless an interesting stat. So we got to see maybe the Cubs come alive. We don't. I counted them out. I think it's a 2.5 man race. With the Cardinals kind of hanging around. But either way, we don't know in this division. That's the
Hey,
fun thing. Yeah,
Cubs will beat the Pirates tonight, though. So
we'll see. That's what you predicted. Yeah.
calling that.